Fujimoto just really surprised me. Chainsaw Man dropped a huge bomb of complete tension in the air as things take a crazy dark turn in part 2. I cannot believe how brilliant Fujimoto is for how well he writes tension and buildup. You can really just tell how things slowly go from awkward and funny to just plain scary, like tipping the scales of insanity, and it all comes from who we'd least expect it from. I think it's awesome how creative he is with his paneling, and this chapter just hit all types of different. I laughed, my heart sank, and then I laughed some more. This was just way too fun, and I look forward to how drastic things will converge in the next one. But to start things off with chapter 8, just to emphasize Asa a little bit more before this bomb of a chapter, I think it's incredible how subtle Asa's characters. It's not really too much of anything, and she's mostly reserved to herself in a literal sense. Some people might say she's changed a little bit because Asa's a little bit more confident, she's coming into herself a little bit, and she's even a bit abrasive now. Like, she straight up had a whole Twitter argument with Denji over Chainsaw Man and completely rejected him. Asa has some underlying brazenness about her that's actually pretty cool to see, because she's so quiet but doesn't quite connect with people, but it's also she's just herself, and I really appreciate how Fujimoto wrote her. Especially in this chapter, I love the clear dynamic Yoru is pushing with Asa. It was actually hinted before with a lot of their dialogue, but Yoru is just as much as a child as Asa. Even as a devil, Yoru is impulsive, she's impatient, angsty, she's like Asa's imaginary, annoying sister. She's bratty. We get to see the weaker side of Yoru, which contradicts her grand plan, turn humans into weapons, I am the god of war, fear me type vibe, you know? And Asa keeps talking back to Yoru in this dynamic and has quite a bit of human sense and maturity with her. Yoru doesn't like to be called stupid, and she makes that clear. And this isn't something particularly important, but it's Yoru's childish, naive nature, and Fujimoto is showing that in her pride as a devil. Yoru's still trying to make plans for them and push her agenda to find the devil and get into the club. However, Asa has her own plans and wants to go to Yuko's house, and even when Yoru threatens her life, Asa simply coerced and talked her down to lead a devil to the school and draw out Chainsaw, leaving it up to Yoru to come up with that plan. Low-key kind of manipulating Yoru in a way which shows how well Asa knows her to even think that she can even tame her. The next heavy parts of the chapter really focus on Yuko and Asa's relationship, as things are incredibly wholesome but quickly take a deep, dark turn. And immediately this is a vibe. You can tell the whole chapter, the whole rest of the chapter had no outbursts, no death, no blood, no violence, but the sinister tension in the air sold it because things are so still. The paneling of this chapter shows the impact with so much processing emotion. But starting things off, Asa goes to Yuko's house and they just have a moment. They're still kind of just friends, but they're like, how do we do this? What do friends do? Because neither of them had any real friends before. So this is just like an awkward culmination of, here we are, let's do this, let's be friends, let's do friend things. So they decide to share personal stories with one another, deep, dark secrets that only friends would share. And it's like, yeah, Asa wants to do this. Asa is invested in this relationship. So, you know, one time I was in grade school, I peed my pants in class, and I think about it every so often that I just scream in the tub. It's so embarrassing. And Yuko is laughing her heart out, her leg hurts, and Asha's blushing. It's just a hot mess of emotions, but you can tell they're having fun. This is a good moment right now. So now Yuko's gotta share something big. She's gotta share something spicy, and it's setting the scene. Promise not to tell anyone, right? Promise. I killed someone yesterday.
Whoa, brother, whoa.
Huh? And it's like, Asa is just so natural. She's just processing it like, oh, cool, that's crazy. Who? My neighbor. because he'd go gambling on pachinko even though he was on welfare for disability. What the hell?
Nani?
You want to run that by me one more time, Chief? Bruh, this is how you write tension. Yuko is off the rails, and better still, she is completely calm, like this is just another lazy afternoon. Like saying hi to old man Asa, Yuko out here talking about her snacks. I'm still trying to wrap my head around on how she just confessed to killing a man like she took out the garbage. And Asa right now is just so bamboozled as she continues to process just what is happening, as Yuko is just like, yeah, I got the body in the backyard. You want to see it? It's still fresh. And it's a pretty big no for Asa, as she is just completely confused. Like she got sidelined by this. And Yuko just rambles about how they can share anything and all their secrets are out. And she even knows about Asa's secret of Yoru and her kills with the teacher and the class rep. She knows about all of that. Yuko has revealed that she has now entered a contract with the Justice Devil, and her sense of justice is manifested as a power, as Yuko can now read minds. And it's perfect since she doesn't understand people. So now Yuko will see her twisted sense of justice through, and her human reasoning has been completely corrupted. It's poetic because justice is blind and she only sees one option. I'm gonna get rid of your bullying problem. Don't come to school tomorrow. So, wow, Yuko, she definitely got her pumped up kicks on. She is just gone. You can feel it and you can see it in her eye. She's still that same Yuko, but her sense of justice is on a one-track road to hell. Yuko really hit her with the "don't come to school tomorrow," and that's an instant absence for me. Say no more, Chief. But depending on your background and your friend group or where you're from, this means Yuko will go to school and light up the building, invoking an unreasonable amount of harm and death based off of her own justice. And that's pretty twisted. This is really heartbreaking because we saw the type of wholesome, strong-willed, lovable person Yuko was, but now that energy and conviction is being directed towards something horrible for the sake of her justice. And that's why it's kind of arguable that Yuko didn't change, because we know that she doesn't care what other people think. But us readers' perception of Yuko obviously changed now. She's no longer that lovey-dovey, wholesome girl. It's just corrupted. But Asa got completely sidelined by this new side of Yuko, and she was slowly but surely starting to pick up on the insanity, like still trying to process what the hell is going on. And this panel is peak energy. I love it. And the level of bullying doesn't even warrant this much force Yuko is implying. Like they just talk behind her back and put raw chicken in Asa's locker. Like you don't gotta rip their heads off. But it's genius how Fujimoto is building the tension and a lot of the dark humor that he puts in. But this is gonna get mad bloody between these characters like Asa, Yuko, and Denji. There is just a serious conflict of interest now that Yuko can read minds and has the power to enforce her justice. I mean, just think about the scenario. Denji is a very immoral person seeking attention. Asa wants relative normalcy, but Yoru wants to battle Denji. But also Asa probably wants to protect Yuko to live, but Yoru wants to turn Yuko into a weapon and kill her. And now Yuko went off the rails, is about to mass murder at the school and probably fight and meet Denji, who she has a complete fantasy about, and likely would read Denji's immoral mind. And Denji just doesn't care. He'd kill whoever the problem was to be that hero. Even if somehow Yuko manages to survive or whatever the case is, Yoshida he's still here. He's gonna clean up the mess afterwards like he's an assassin, and he's gonna please whoever he's working for and make sure Denji is living that peaceful life. He wants Denji to be on that low key, and if Yuko was to threaten that, things are looking extremely bleak right now. The next couple of chapters are really gonna be that Chainsaw Man cycle of pain all over again. Fujimoto, please let me be wrong, but this is still peak anyway. I'm having a lot of fun with Chainsaw Man right now. I hope at the very least when the moment hits, you know the moment, the Fujimoto brutally kill off a character and laugh about it moment, that Asa has some closure and conviction despite whatever may happen, because Asa will get mixed in and thrown into this mess one way or another. But I do thank you awesome guys for watching. This has been Enemy Stand User, and I'll see you guys in the next one.